Hey, what's up guys, and thanks for tuning in and welcome to another weekly crypto market update. So as you see today, Zero Cool is not here. He tried to be here, but he sent me an hour ago, I am low energy, but if you want, I can be there. He tried, he really tried. So even just 5 minutes ago, he tried to come on. He said, I walked up the stairs in pain, so I'd rather not if you don't mind. And he's out of breath. So I think what happened as well was this week he was in the hospital, he had kidney stones, so I really hope he's fine. So if you're watching, my friend, I hope you're doing fine. So take care, take a rest, and we see each other next week. What we're gonna do today is it will probably be a little bit of a shorter stream. So I'm gonna go over some altcoin setups because I think, and probably everyone seen it this week, that altcoins were pumping and there are some nice setups with the Ichimoku cloud. So at the end, we're gonna go over a couple of them, a little bit less TA. So like I just said, maybe only TA with the Ichimoku cloud analysis, which is what I'm doing. And then of course, like always, a little bit of macro just to understand the Bitcoin's price. So let's dive right into it. First and foremost, the reason I think that we pumped is of course the trade deal with the UK. I'm not 100% sure if it's a good deal or not. I hear from people on the left political spectrum say it's a super bad deal. On the right, they're super in favor, of course. So it's really hard these days to have a good opinion. I honestly, myself, I'm not 100% sure if it's a good deal for the UK or not. If we can take the words of the Prime Minister. So what did he say? He says, so Trump said, tremendous trade deal for both countries. And then the Prime Minister said, this is a fantastic historic day. So who knows? But to be honest, I don't really care. The only thing that I care about is what the market does, what the market thinks. And apparently the market thinks this is a very good trade deal. And maybe they're already pricing in next deals, because if you just look at the Bitcoin price alone, on the day that this trade deal was announced, the Bitcoin price jumped enormously. And this basically fueled the small altcoin run that we're seeing. So Bitcoin alone up by 6 to 7%, which is crazy. I don't think the S&P moved that high. I think the S&P only a little upward movement, but yeah, Bitcoin is here, and I think it's the macro tailwind that's helping. So to go a little bit further, and everyone is knowing what I'm gonna say. So global liquidity is going up. This is super important. So at the moment, global liquidity is rising steadily. And at the moment, it's at an all-time high at $177.2 trillion of global liquidity. So all in all, where is my tab here? So Michael Howell, as I said last week on the stream, he expects now the cycle to peak a little bit further, which is super good for Bitcoin and altcoins, because I think the cycle will go a little bit longer as well than that we're used to. We're used to the 4-year cycle, but I think now because of the global liquidity, and also because of the policy in the US, which is a little bit different, I think Trump will want to perform well during the midterms. So I think they will gonna print a lot more money a little bit later on in the year. And I think that's when we're gonna see maybe the big alt season and the big moves in Bitcoin. If we compare that to Bitcoin with the 13-week lag, everything is still going right according to plan. So it really amazes me that the Bitcoin and global liquidity correlation seems to work week after week, and there is still people who don't believe in it, who don't believe in the lag, who don't believe that this is working. So next slide is from Raoul Paul. So this is from Global Macro Investor. He posts this chart as well week after week. So this is only global M2, but it's following the price of Bitcoin. He does it with a 12-week lead. It's following it perfectly. And according to this, Bitcoin price will just go to 140K. I think this measures still 30% more upwards, which would align with, let's have a look. Yeah, also 130K. So everything is really aligning that Bitcoin goes towards that 130K level. Even, for example, the gold correlation. I don't know if you guys saw my video. If you didn't, really watch it. So I made a very good TradingView script with macro indicators built into it to see if it's a good time to buy Bitcoin based on where the gold price is. And 2 weeks ago, we saw a very good buy signal. And I really think this helps. And the lag lead correlation with Bitcoin and gold is there. And this is measuring as well to 130, 140K. So I think a lot of good things are aligning, even though there is like, what is it, in Pakistan and India, a war going on. I think, and I don't have it prepared for you, but it's weird because always when there's an invasion, when there's a war starting, you see the stock market going up. It's super funny. It's not because war is good, but it's because usually then we will see more money printing, and that's why the price of assets is going upwards. So yeah, this leak lag correlation was pointing upwards as well towards 130K. So I still think Bitcoin will go upwards. This doesn't mean that there won't be ups and downs. Of course, maybe the price is a bit overextended right now, so it can drop a little bit. But over the long run, I think Bitcoin will do just fine. Funnily enough, so this Bitcoin versus gold correlation is very good at the 3-month lag. And another good macro indicator, which I talk a lot about on this channel, is the DXY. And the thing is, what I didn't really know was, so I knew Bitcoin and the DXY were inversely correlated. And I also knew there was a lag, but I didn't really exactly know what lag. So I came across a very good post from Thomas. And he overlaid the Bitcoin price and the DXY with a 3-month lag. And as you can see, the inverse correlation, so the inverse DXY and the Bitcoin price with the 3-month lag are following the path perfectly. And what does this mean is, I don't have the DXY chart open, but so as most of you know, the DXY really dropped enormously. And based on this, based on history, 3 months afterwards, Bitcoin will move upwards. So the DXY is also super bullish. So we really have a lot of tailwinds. So global liquidity pointing upwards, gold pointing upwards, and then now the DXY inverse correlation also pointing upwards. And he explained it very well. So maybe let's take some snippets of what he's saying. So yeah, that's the thing. And that's why the gold correlation works as well. It's basically the same. So gold prices the DXY weakness in immediately. So it's not a very good indicator to trade on with gold because it's just immediately. But this is just, it's actually basically the same, what I'm saying. So 3 months afterwards, then we see the correlation into the DXY. And because there is also the 3-month lag with gold. So it's actually, both things are kind of the same. That's why I put here the DXY as an indicator as well, to know if it's a good time to buy. So this is aligning perfectly. So DXY down, 3 months later, Bitcoin is going up. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. 3 months later, up, Bitcoin is starting to go up again. And that's basically it for my macro part. So the macro part is going well, although there is a war, although there are these tariffs, although there is a lot of fear. I think the fear is gone. This was a time in peak fear to allocate. I think now we won't see this upwards movement again. Maybe we'll see it towards 130K, but not more than that. So the upwards is 15%. I'm allocated. So if you haven't got any Bitcoin, I think it's still a good place to buy, but don't overtrade, don't use leverage, just be careful. Okay, moving on, a little bit of TA, but like I said, my TA, how can I say it, expertise is mostly into the Ichimoku trading signal. So this is the Ichimoku cloud. So people that follow me know that that's the only thing I do. Why do I do that? Because it's more high time frame signals. So basically to trade on long-term swing trading. That's what I do. Zero Cool is not here. He's more day trading. So someone in our Discord, I think it was Chris or maybe Zero Cool, posted this from McKenna, which is saying Bitcoin is setting up for a high strength TK crossover on the 3-day, which is a very, very good buy signal. So as he says as well, last time this happened was prior to Trump's victory, where we went from 60K to 110K. And if this happens, this is one of the best signals to buy. And so let's just have a look at it, because I think even Chris asked me to check it on the stream, but for everyone, it's super important. So last time, like he said, it was here and Bitcoin followed with a massive bull run, I think. So here it happened as well, start of the bull run. Will it happen here as well? And if a bullish TK cross happens above the cloud, that's the best signal you have to buy. That's probably the start of the bull run. Will it happen? So how can we see if it's going to happen or not? So these are the crypto settings for the Ichimoku clouds. So 20, 60, 120, 30. So what does this mean is the Tenkan, for example, is a 20, and which means that it takes the highest price and the lowest price of the last 20 days, well, 20 candles. So here, these are 3-day candles, and that's then the Tenkan. So we can just measure it for ourselves if we think it's gonna go up or down. Where's my measurement tool? I always forget where So here you check the range. So we need 20 bars, and this is here. So at the moment, the Tenkan is not going to go up because there is a bar that went here. So in the next month, because you need to do 3 times 11. So in 30 days, the Tenkan is not going to move upwards because this is the lowest point. So the Tenkan is not going to move up this month. And then, why did I? Then let's have a look at the Kijun. So you need 60 bars. This is right here. And I think this will also just be the same because you have this high and this low. So the Kijun will just stay in place and the Tenkan will not move upwards for a month. So I don't know if he did it on purpose to cloud form, but I don't think this will cross. It will only cross the next month. But maybe people gonna front run it. That's also a possibility that they're gonna front run the TK cross. But it's not gonna cross for this month, so it will take another month. But everything is aligning for a good summer. So maybe this is like the fuel for it, and then it will break out in the summer, so who knows, and then we're gonna have a very nice summer. Oh, Chris, GM, I just explained the TK cross of the 3-day Ichimoku cloud, which you were asking for. Maybe if you didn't see it yet, so you need to scroll back a little bit in the video, but I don't think, so basically to recap, I don't think the TK cross on the 3-day is gonna happen this month, so it will probably happen next month. So this was it for the macro part and how it's affecting Bitcoin's price. Now let's go over a little bit to altcoins. Why? Because of course Ethereum is making a massive move. I think it's the biggest move we saw in the last 4 years or something. So it's crazy. It's a very, very big candle. We're not used to it for Ethereum. To me, this big inverse head and shoulders on the weekly is still intact. It measures towards 7K. So maybe it's gonna go to 7K. But then, so why is this happening? Why I think it's happening is because of the Pectra mainnet announcement. And it aligns perfectly well with the trade deal which was announced. But Ethereum moved much higher than Bitcoin. And I think this is, well, one of the reasons is because of the Pectra mainnet announcement. There were a lot of good news. This was the biggest upgrade following Denkun. But the most important thing was, let me scroll down a little bit. So a lot of good things, but the most important thing, maybe let me search like this. So, what was it? So the most important thing is, I lost it here, that it raises the maximum balance a validator can receive rewards from 32 Ethereum to 2048 Ethereum. And this, to me, this will be the start where ETF issuers from the Ethereum ETF will start to add staking into their ETFs. And we basically saw it. So this was yesterday. BlackRock met with SEC Crypto Task Force on May 9th, sought guidance on staking, tokenization, ETF approval, and this is the reason Ethereum pumped. So basically, what probably happened was these. Maybe let's put it on the daily to better see it. These were probably insiders which knew about it, and then this is on the news that BlackRock talked with the SEC about staking. But then, of course, it's probably because of the Pectra upgrade, which makes it now possible and makes it easier for institutions to hold Ethereum and to arrange their staking ETFs. So, and that's what I said in my When Altseason video. This will be the catalyst to start off the Altseason. And I think we just saw it a little bit. Bitcoin dominance is back in the range, so which is good. And it's so crazy because then now when you scroll on Twitter, everyone is saying, yeah, Altseason is back, Altseason is back, just because of one candle that's going down in Bitcoin dominance. I don't think it's the case. So even a lot of real life friends asking me today and yesterday, oh, is Altseason back? Should I buy back into altcoins? So it's crazy that just one candle of one good news is already people asking if Altseason is going to go back. And my answer is still the same, which I put out on my video 2 weeks ago. It's still the same answer. It will maybe be good on the short term because, of course, we have this Spectra upgrade, which is very good for Ethereum, which is starting the fire for the Altseason. The ETF with staking will obviously be good as well. But if there is no abundant liquidity, we will not see Altseason happening. So my conclusion is still the same from the video. When is Altseason happening? Well, we still need the end of quantitative tightening and lower interest rates. The news can be the best news there is in the world. If we're still in QT, if the interest rates are still this high, we will not see an Altseason. It's super simple. Of course, alts can go up a little bit. I'm not opposed to altcoins. I even at the moment, I have around 50% in Bitcoin, 50% in Ethereum and Solana. But it's not the time, in my eyes, to go full blow-on Altseason leverage in all the small, tiny altcoins. I don't think we're there yet. But it might come. It's just not there yet. And I think that's what I said at the end of my conclusion of the Altseason. It's just not ready yet. But it's possible that it will come in the future. So this was it for me. I hope you enjoyed it without Zero Cool. Maybe let's just do the outro and the predictions. Zero Cool is way too bearish. He's weak. I think it's his PTSD from all the other bull markets. Too bearish, too afraid. I won, but I'm not proud of it because I thought we're just gonna range, but I gladly take the point for me. What I'm thinking for next week, it can go both ways. If there's gonna come out trade deals next week as well, we might just go without hesitation towards 100K. I don't think that will be the case. Maybe let's have a look at the 3-day. A lot of liquidity here. I'm gonna be putting it here. All right. I really hope you enjoyed it, guys. So an episode without Zero Cool is always a shorter episode because I cannot talk like that for hours and hours on my own. I hope you enjoyed it. I still think it was valuable. And then thanks to you all for watching. And then I see you all